Hello and welcome back to another video on my channel. Today I will be making another top 10 video, and this top 10 will talk about the top 10 stadium super truck crashes. This is as of 2023, September 2023. So the latest race up to this point was the 2023 Music City Grand Prix, and I'm going to be basing my opinion on what the top 10 stadium super trucks crashes are. There's some that might look pretty bad, but I'm just gonna have a disclaimer. All of these drivers are okay. I might talk about maybe someone got a little injured, but after that they all of course survived. None of these crashes are fatal because of course these trucks are very safe. And after this video, I wish you would comment which crash do you think is pretty bad, or if there's another one that you think it might be even more chaotic than any of them on the list. So we're gonna cut to enough of the jibber jabbing and let's get to the top 10, starting with. Now for the number 10 list, we have Paul Morris's front flip during the 2016 Sandsport Super Show in Costa Mesa. So as we can see from the video, Paul Morris pretty much got the jump a little too high, hit the front bumper, and went front flipping around. Thankfully, he was able to walk out okay. For number 9, we are going to the 2016 Adelaide race, the second race, and which involves Matt Mingay. Unfortunately, he made contact with he hit the ramp at a bad angle, and he went flipping, lost the tire. He went flipping over almost 4 times before just landing on its side. Thankfully, like I said, he is okay. He was, of course, shaken up, but thankfully, not too many injuries after this kind.
The bottom half taking a majority of the beating. We can see it from a higher perspective right now.
It's just that landing. I think he was trying to pull the truck up because Price had already locked the brakes up on his truck as well. And look at Bert Jenner lucky to get through as well with that wheel that was flying away in Mingay.
Mingay is, he is a stuntman, and he is a showman, and probably wasn't planning on using those two skills in this race, but there he is, up and ready to go.
During the first race of the 2018 Long Beach race, Apadali Lopez would get into trouble by hitting the ramp pretty bad, and unfortunately he would flip over and actually hit the wall a little bit, and he would land on his side. The crash did look pretty bad, and thankfully he was able to walk out under his own power, and to the roar of the crowd he was okay, and he was able to compete into the next round.
Lid here, not too violent of a crash, but definitely got off the ramp sideways. You can see the Toyo tires rubber on the wall there, right on the front stretch, as Abdali is still in the truck there. There's a good view. No, nothing bad. You know, the roll cage, nothing hitting the ground there, so it looks like not too violent of a rollover. Granted, it wasn't graceful either. As Abdali Lopez, he is out. There you go.
I told you expect fireworks, but
During the 2019 race at Texas Motor Speedway, Robbie Gordon, Jeff Hoffman, and Matty Brabham would be involved in this huge crash where Robbie Gordon would be on his roof. Jeff Hoffman and Matty Brabham would actually miss the jump and hit the dirt onto the ramp, but thankfully all 3 of them were okay, and Robbie Gordon, of course, it looked like the worst crash that happened during this time, but thankfully he was okay and competing into the next round, which would happen after the NASCAR Xfinity race. During the 2016 Gold Coast race, the third race of the Stadium Super Trucks, Sean Richardson would hit the ramp pretty bad, at a pretty bad angle, and he would actually hit the wall very, very hard and would end up spinning a couple of times. Thankfully, he was able to continue under his own power, continued racing, but unfortunately had to DNF after the second competition caution.
on the left-hand side. Oh, V8 Utes crash here a couple of years ago involving Adam Marjoram that went into the wall super hard. There was no tyre wall there that day. And about 2 or 3 360s in one hit. Wow.
At Perth, Australia, during race number 1, Jake Kostecki would hit the ramp pretty bad and also make a little bit of contact when we would go flying, almost doing a whole blowover and flipping several times before landing on his wheels. And it looks like he tried to continue, but unfortunately had to DNF. And unfortunately for him, his day was done.
He is hoping he is still going to be up and going, but he is on a 3-wheeler. Now I'm hoping that means Kostecki's saying, hey, you know what, I am okay. Granted, he's young, he's only 17.
The driver's briefing this morning, 2 trucks get together in midair. Nothing you can do about it there. And look at the way, and the dude was lucky. He probably got a bit of damage to his truck too on the way through. But massive damage to truck 75, the always evolving entry that we'd see Eric Davison in contact.
Wow.
With Hines, perhaps. Mid-air.
Real wild ride there. Wait,
During the 2019 edition of the Long Beach race for Stadium Super Trucks, Robbie Gordon and Blade Hildebrand were battling really hard for 3rd place up until the final lap. But unfortunately, it looks like Robbie tried to pass Blade Hildebrand, and Blade Hildebrand was just pushing him into the wall. And Robbie's truck looked like it exploded. The whole right front was destroyed, and he of course tried to limp around the racetrack with 3 Toyo tire wheels. But once again, he was okay and was able to compete in the next round.
Gordon still racing. 3 Toyo tires is enough. He's like, I'm just running it.
Don't overshoot the corner. Here we have a replay.
Oh, Robbie Gordon gets into the back.
Oh, he was hooked on him.
They got hooked to him. Nothing they could do right there.
Big impact here.
Yep, big impact right there for Robbie Gordon as well. So the 2 of them, they've been racing hard. Here's another look at it. We saw this a little bit earlier. They're already hooked together.
I think Blade faded to block Robbie. And
Bill Hines at the Sam Sports Super Show in 2014 would do a huge flip, and then he would try to continue racing until he hit the wall, and apparently he had blacked out and still was doing donuts. So he did receive some minor injuries, but like I said, for every other driver, he was okay. No need to go to the hospital. He just blacked out for a little bit. Definitely a scary moment, but hey, he was able to still race even to this day. At the 2021 Darwin race for Stadium Super Trucks, Paul Wheel would get into trouble in the black KMC Wheels truck by hitting the ramp at a bad angle, and he went flipping several times. It definitely was doing lots of barrel rolls, but thankfully the truck didn't sustain that much damage.
I don't know if that's going to take off again. Spectacular roll. There's damage to the right rear. In fact, I think that's cut the tyre down. The enforcer pulls up to make sure he's okay, and the crowd cheer as the KMC Wheels entry grabs its way back to the pits.
Here's the replay. Watch it when he approaches. A little contact.
Yeah, that's what started it, and it's just made the truck come in awkward. And this is very similar to Jake Kostecki's crash at Barbagallo a few years ago.
Now for the honorable mention, Robbie Gordon was actually driving Justin Lofton's truck at the Long Beach Port just the day before the Long Beach race during the 2013 Stadium Super Truck season. He flipped over while trying to do I don't know what he was trying to do, but he actually almost hit a cameraman, and he went flipping several times, but thankfully he was okay after the crash. He just felt really bad that he destroyed Justin Lofton's truck. But the funny thing is, they actually pretty much rebuilt the truck for tomorrow, since the race was tomorrow, even though it was pretty much almost unsponsored. It was a white truck, and Justin Lofton would race a pretty smart race and actually win the Long Beach race, which is really ironic. So now here is number 1. during the 2016 Long Beach race, the second round of the Stadium Super Trucks, Pat O'Keefe would actually hit the ramp at a pretty bad angle and would end up flipping. But there, on TV, it doesn't look like he really did much. He looks like he just hit the wall or whatever. But the replay shows that he actually hit the ramp at a pretty bad angle, and boom, he hit the catch fence, and thankfully it wasn't at the crowd, and also thankfully it didn't go through the catch fence. You know, usually these street courses, the fencing they have is usually not the best. It's just temporary grandstands and temporary walls, but thankfully it did its job and protected the car. It protected the people that were watching from the pit side, and of course kept the truck inside the racetrack. So that is number 1 on the list.
Full freestyle show. Here's a replay of what happened earlier. Pat O'Keefe gets really sideways. Oh my goodness, up into the catch fence, Matt Nolte.
Wow. Oh, this is going to be for the onboard camera. Landed awkwardly. It was sideways, hitting the second ramp. And look at the roll cage. Did its job perfectly that time.
Wild ride. Oh, into a catch fence. Catch fence does its job. The roll cage does its job. Tyler McQuarrie says, what is going on?
Oh, look at this. Front row seat.
Oh, boy.
And doesn't hit him.
Tyler McQuarrie says, that's worth the price of admission right there. There's Pat O'Keefe. Looking good, safe.
So hopefully you enjoyed this list. Like I said, if you want to agree or disagree in the comments, you can let me know. Also, which crash do you think is the worst out of all of these, or if there's another one. So if you liked it, please give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.